This video is going to show you how to do the accumulated balance problems from section 4B on the financial calculator, the graphing calculator. Our problem on the right says we're going to invest $5,000 in an account paying 4% annual interest compounded monthly, and we'll find the balance at the end of 10 years. The first thing we need to do is get into the TVM solver, which is built into the TI-84 and 83. To do that, we'll go to the Apps button. It's a couple levels above the number 7. That gets us to our applications. The very first choice is Finance, so we can click Enter. And the very first choice is TVM Solver. That's the one we'll be using in this class, so click Enter. Okay, this picks up a screen with a whole bunch of things we can fill in. First thing to fill in is capital N. In our little formula from the book, the little n times y told how many times a year we compounded. That's what our capital N is. So we're going to take our little n, which was 12 times a year, because we're monthly, times the number of years, so 12 times 10 years, and arrow on down, it computes that for you. 120 different times they're going to stop and pay interest to us. Our interest rate is in percents, so unlike on the formula on a littler calculator, we don't put 0.04, we just put 4 for 4%. PV, principal values, that's our starting value. It's how much money we start out with in the bank. So I'm going to enter $5,000 and arrow on down. PMT is payment. We're not using that, so we're going to leave it at 0. We'll learn how to use that later on. FV is our future value. That's what we're going to solve for in a minute, what we end up with after 10 years. We need to change one more thing, though. PY and CY stands for payments per year and compounds a year. We're going to do 12, well, we're not even making payments, but we're going to compound 12 times a year. This is where you put in 12 for monthly, and these will both match. We're going to compound 12 times a year. If we were doing payments, they'd be 12 times a year. We go up on top of future value because that's what we want to solve for. If you'll notice, this little green word above enter says solve. So to get to that, we're going to do alpha, enter, and it will solve for our future value. Now the only thing that's a little bit strange about this is it came up negative. That's because the calculator works on a cash flow model. It kind of tells you how this affects your pocketbook. And really, truly, if we were to put $5,000 in the bank, we would be out $5,000 from our pocketbook. So if we put that in as a negative 5,000 instead of positive 5,000, and then go down and solve again on future value, we'll actually get the same number, but it's going to be a positive number. And so at the end of 10 years, we'd have $7,454. 5,000 of that was principal. If we subtracted those numbers, the remaining $22,454 would be your interest.